resolution, the key is the clarity. So how clear the image is that you can see it. Okay, that's our resolution. Magnification, I'm going to abbreviate here. Just magnification is making it larger. So when we talk about this up here 40 times, that would be magnification. Now, if you looked in there and you used your fine and your coarse adjustment knobs that we talked about, that would be making it a higher resolution. It would be making it more clear, able to see through. Okay. So also with the microscope, you guys need to look over your microscope quizzes that we took. Make sure you guys know the parts of the microscope, because you're probably going to see that microscope on the test at some point. So let's make sure we know the microscope, the parts of the microscope, and how to use it. We may have a little bit on the SI units, the prefixes, and remember the basic SI unit is the meter. That's the standard that you use across the world. You may see a little bit of that, so we wrote those down in our notes on the very first day. I think you guys still have those. Remember who first saw the cell? It was Robert Hooke, and he looked at the cork cell and called it cell because he thought they looked like gel cells. Just kind of remember that story a little bit. I may ask you about that. Van Leeuwenhoek was the first to look at living cells, and he made the microscope that we use today. Let's see. Go to the second page here. Okay, we definitely want to remember the cell theory. One of those was on your quiz you just took. So I'm going to write down, they're right there on your notes. Cell theory, 3 parts. The cell is the basic unit of all living things. We need to remember all 3 of these. All living organisms are made of cells, and all cells come from pre-existing cells. So those are very important to remember. So highlight that, underline it, or that will be on your test, I'll tell you right now. We also want to remember how cells differ, like our notes say. We want to remember the difference between the plant and the animal cell. So I'm going to write down animal up here. I'm going to write down plant. Okay, first I want to talk about some organelles that they have in common. So who can tell me an organelle that both of these plant and animal has? August, do you remember? An organelle that's found in the animal that's also found in the plant? Okay, let me give you a hint. What's this that we call that's in the center of our cell? Oh, the nucleus. Good. So the nucleus is found in both. You guys just made these, you made the cell in class the other day, so you all will remember these as we start talking about them. What's another one? Anybody can just shout an answer out. What's another organelle that's found in both the animal and plant? Caitlin, you remember? Mitochondria, good. There's mitochondria in both. Okay, just write a few more. There's ribosomes. Okay, there is lysosomes. Let's see, there's rough and smooth ER. What does ER stand for? Good. Okay. There's the Golgi apparatus, made of Golgi bodies. What else? Let's see. There's the cytoskeleton, which we talked about, was the microtubules and the microfilaments. And I know you guys put those in your cell models the other day. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, there's the cell membrane, our gatekeeper. Anybody think of anything else? What makes the rough ER rough? Ribosomes, good. So the smooth ER doesn't have any ribosomes. And remember, there's also ribosomes that hang out in the cytoplasm as well. That you guys I think you used sprinkles for them a lot when we did the cookies the other day. So I'm also going to write cytoplasm because you need to remember that they have cytoplasm. That's important. That's mainly water, and it's going to make up the inside of the cell. I better write it all out. Okay, now to the good stuff. What are the 3 things that the plant cell has that the animal doesn't have? Chloroplast, cell wall, I heard both of those. What else? There's one more. Makes up most of the cell.
It's the one that has a little water in it.
That's right.
Vacuole?
Yeah.
She said it. What do you call it?
That was a multiple choice question. I did it right. I'm not thinking of it.
It is vacuole, but what do we call it in the plant cell? The central vacuole. Good cow.
Thank you.
Central vacuole. And the central vacuole is going to make up a lot of the plant cell. If this is our plant cell right here, we got our nucleus going on, and we got our central vacuole. It's huge. And then you also have the chloroplast all around, which are green. Okay? And then cell wall is the very outside of the plant cell. Okay? So I want you guys to definitely make sure you know how to define each one of these. We talked about this, holding genetic material, being DNA and stuff. I'll put DNA in parentheses to remember that. We talked about mitochondria, produces the ATP or the energy. Okay, talked about ribosomes. They make proteins. Yep, that's where protein synthesis occurs. All right, synthesis and parentheses. Okay, lysosomes. They have lots of enzymes. I'll put filled with enzymes to break down old things. Okay. Then the rough and smooth ER, they're used for traveling. That's our subway system. Okay, and you know the rough is where the ribosomes travel. And we got the Golgi apparatus, packages, and ships out of the cell membrane. Ships into the cell membrane. Used for shipment. Okay. Cytoskeleton is like I told you that one day, is like a hollow basket. And it also does work as like a skeleton. It's gonna hold the cell together. We're almost done with this here. Cell membrane is our gatekeeper. In and out of the cell. Cytoplasm, gel that fills up the cell. Chloroplast, used to grab sunlight, and that's where photosynthesis occurs. Cell wall is rigid, tough, outer coating of the plants. And lastly, central vacuole is for storage of water,